Okay, I'd like to call this meeting to order. Can we have a moment of silence, please? Stand for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, I'm sorry, roll call.
Councilperson Boyd?
Here.
Councilperson Riley?
Here.
Councilperson Papachek?
Here.
Councilperson Sarsfield?
Here.
Councilperson DeLoss? Here. Council President Demko?
Here.
Mayor Kavistik? Here. We have a quorum.
Thank you very much. I see that we have Erica, right, and Virginia, and Hans here. And tonight we're going to honor the Off the Wall Theater Productions. It's just Off the Wall Productions, right? I always like to throw the word theater in here because it's just something I like, maybe, but it's not in the proclamation, though. It's not correctly. But this is on July 1st, Off the Wall Productions turned 10. And I don't think it's any coincidence that the revitalization of Carnegie and the appearance of Off the Wall Theater, which is now Carnegie Stage, and Off the Wall Productions in our community happen simultaneously. I think having art in your community is very important. It's a catalyst for community development, and I think the art that you have provided for this community is something that no other community in this region, this western region, has, and it makes us a very special community because of that. So we thank you for your business. We thank you for which you also, that's right. Speaking of which, you also moved your business here too. That's a whole other issue. You're not getting a proclamation for that. You're just broke because of it. But anyway, but we thank you for that. We thank you for the bringing the arts and promoting the arts in our community. And with that, I'd like to provide this proclamation, and if any of you guys would like to say anything afterwards, that would be great. We can get a picture with the chief. Would you mind getting a picture for us? Thank you. So the Borough of Carnegie Proclamation, Off the Wall Productions. Whereas Off the Wall Productions was started on July 1st, 2007 by the husband and wife team of Hans and Virginia Grunert. And whereas in 2012, Off the Wall Productions created a new arts and entertainment facility in Carnegie. And in 2015, the building was donated to the Off the Wall Charitable Trust and is now known as Carnegie Stage, with Off the Wall Productions being the anchor tenant. And whereas Off the Wall Productions continues their mission of focusing on the production of plays written by women and is an area leader in highlighting plays from local and national female playwrights. And whereas Off the Wall has been a vital part of Carnegie's revitalization. Now therefore, I, Mayor Jack Kavistik, along with Borough Council, hereby proclaim July 10, 2017 as Off the Wall Productions Day in the Borough of Carnegie in honor of their 10th anniversary. So congratulations.
You have signed it, so you need to get a picture. No, take the time if you want to get it over the camera. Someone can take it for you too if you want to be in the picture. So
Where shall I go? I'll go over here.
No, we did it. Yeah, we switched it. Right, no, not the. We have the camera over here, so we're going to move this all over here. Because Rick, who by the way is a huge supporter of your facility, Rick has told me many times that I do these things away from the camera.
Face the camera.
Face the
Yeah.
camera.
Face the camera so that we can email that then to all
camera's
their
here.
supporters.
Oh,
No, it's fine.
Very good. Very good.
We'll be here again next month.
Yes, they're doing the same thing. I only,
Guys ready?
Where do we look?
Right
Oh,
towards
there?
me.
Oh,
One
It's
more.
only a mugshot, folks.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I get one?
You want me to get one
Carnegie,
under?
I'm gonna get closer.
Alrighty, you should get one.
thank you.
One for me.
sir,
We can send it to you. I can email it to you.
Okay, right. Thank you.
There, you
You
got
should get one with
it.
just the three.
I'll send it to you, you can forward it to everybody.
Just the three.
here, one, two,
Just
three.
the three.
Musical bodies.
Even better. Ready?
Cheese.
One more. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there anything
Thank all of you. I mean, it's been our pleasure to be here in this borough because it's exciting that so much has evolved and continues to evolve. So we're happy, more than happy to be part of it. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we do sell tickets to everybody who is here, so come and check us out. Our next show is called Sex Rock, and it's not what you think it is. It's great entertainment.
It always
And Off the Wall is probably the only business in Carnegie which offers such a huge discount to local residents
Yes.
on
Right.
ticket
Yes.
prices.
Our regular ticket price is $40. Carnegie residents pay $10.
$10. Yeah.
Unless you're on the council.
Then it's $50.
Yeah. Oh, this is good.
I would never see a bad play there. I mean, honestly, every one of the performances are absolutely fantastic. It's, I don't know, you find this kind of talent at these kind of shows anywhere, but right here in Carnegie, it's just awesome.
Thank
It
you.
really is.
Thank you very much.
We have arts business to attend. So,
We understand.
good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, any public comment on any listed motions? Anyone? Okay, Councilperson Boyd.
How can I do that? I'd like to, I'm not sure the appropriate procedure, but given the timing of receiving the minutes, since nobody's had the opportunity to really review them, I raced through them. Can we table this till next month?
You could just not make the motion.
I have nothing this evening.
Pardon me, there is one from June 12th that we could probably proceed with that was in the packet already.
That one I read. I'd like to table it as well.
Well,
Catch up next month.
We're talking about the emergency meeting. Correct.
What I do think you should
The
do.
June 12th one is the one.
What I do think you should do is, President, you could state for the record that a meeting was held June 26th.
It's the June 26th. Yeah. That one we can press forward.
Well, I still think that you should make somebody should make a statement about the meeting on the 26th, that the meeting was held and what it was for.
That was what that meeting was.
It's not on the agenda.
The 12th.
Oh, it's just the 12th and the 26th. There we go.
Just do the 12th.
I mean,
All right.
in addition to approving those minutes, there's only one question.
Oh, I'm just so thrilled that there's so few people here to see how well-oiled a machine we've got working here to see. All right. Thank you, Council President. Motion to approve the minutes from June 26, 2017.
Second?
If I could offer we had a special emergency meeting to approve one item of business that night, and it was Carnegie Borough's tax collector deputized Jordan Tax Services as the deputy tax collector for the Borough of Carnegie for tax year 2017. And it was a 15-minute meeting and we were done.
Can I just add to it?
Sure.
Okay, here's what happened. As you know, as anybody might know, on May 1st, Peg Lowe, the elected tax collector, resigned. Joe Borough was appointed in her as her replacement. Because he is only there as a replacement tax collector right now, the tax bills, he didn't have enough time, he didn't have very much time to get up to speed. He deputized Jordan for the 2017 taxes to send the bills out, collect the taxes. He's still the tax collector, but just the mechanism of being as short as it was, he deputized Jordan. The bills had to go out on July 1st, so we had a meeting in July. And then under the statute that had to be approved by council, the meeting was held on June 26th to approve his deputization. The school district did it the same night, so that the bills could go out on July 1st. That was all. That was the whole purpose of the meeting, and now that we're here, we're making a statement.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
That's all I have this evening, Council President.
Thank you, Madam President. I have a motion to approve the June 2017 Gatens, Chisari, and Nicholas invoice in the amount of $5,602.50.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any comments?
Just one comment. This is a separate motion. It wasn't received in time for the bill list, so we're adding it to the agenda.
Roll call for this.
Councilperson Boyd?
Yes.
Councilperson Sarsfield?
Yes.
Councilperson Riley?
Yes.
Councilperson DeVos?
Yes.
Councilperson Papachak?
Yes.
Council President Demko?
Yes.
The motion passes.
I have a second motion to approve the July 2017 bill list, no addendum for the July 2017.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any comments?
Just to add to that, we only had one meeting this month, so no addendum.
Roll call, Steve.
Councilperson Sarsfield?
Yes.
Councilperson DeVos?
Yes.
Councilperson Boyd?
Yes.
Councilperson Riley?
Yes.
Councilperson Papachak?
Yes.
Council President Demko?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Public Works, Councilperson DeVos.
Thank you, Madam President. A motion to accept the resignation of Department of Public Works Foreman Leonard Batowski, effective July 24th, 2017.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments?
Anyway, Mosley, I mean, he's been for a long time, and, you know, there's some health issues, but we had come back, and you know, when he was gone, he'll be really missed. A lot of years of knowledge, and I think that, he really, you know, was a dedicated employee and really always put forth his best effort. It'll be tough to be replaced, but you know, in life we're all replaceable. That's the good and the bad of it. But you know, I appreciated Leo's hard work and dedication that he's given to the borough over the years.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Motion to approve change order number 1 for the contract number 2017-02, Plum Street Stormwater Improvement Project, in the amount of $2,516.50. Contract amount adjusted from $167,220 to $169,736.50 based on final installed quantities. R&B Contracting and Excavation.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments?
Just a small adjustment to this project because of additional quantities of material that they needed to use. It's just an adjustment at the end of the project.
Roll call, Steve.
Councilperson Boyd?
Yes.
Councilperson Riley?
Yes.
Councilperson Papachek?
Yes.
Councilperson Sarsfield?
Yes.
Councilperson DeLoss?
Yes.
Council President Demko?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to approve payment application number 2, final, to R&B Contracting and Excavation in the amount of $9,398.82 for work completed between June 1st and June 30th, 2017 for the Plum Street Stormwater Improvement Project, contract number 2017-02.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments?
This is the final payment on that project. The previous motion was a change order approval. This motion is to pay them the final on the project.
Steve, roll
Councilperson Papachek?
Yes.
Councilperson Riley?
Yes.
Councilperson Boyd?
Yes.
Councilperson DeLoss?
Yes.
Councilperson Sarsfield?
Yes.
Council President Demko?
call. Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to approve change order number 2, final, for contract number 2016-04 Carnegie Park Phase 2, main park improvements in the amount of $1,575. Final contract amount adjusted from $157,388 to $158,963. Necessary for pervious transition zone between tennis courts and new sidewalk. T.A. Robinson Asphalt Paving Company.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments?
That flowery language of pervious transition zone is basically means a dump load truck of gravel that they poured into there.
Steve,
Councilperson Boyd?
Yes.
Councilperson Sarsfield?
Yes.
Councilperson DeLoss?
Yes.
Councilperson Papachek?
Yes.
Councilperson Riley?
Yes.
Council President Demko?
yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to approve payment application number 5 to T.A. Robinson Asphalt Paving Incorporated in the amount of $45,490.50 for work completed between November 4th, 2016 and June 30th, 2017 for the Carnegie Park Phase 2 main park improvements contract number 2016-04.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments? Steve,
Councilperson Sarsfield?
Yes.
Councilperson DeLoss?
Yes.
Councilperson Papachek?
Yes.
Councilperson Riley?
Yes.
Councilperson Boyd?
Yes.
Council President Demko?
yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to permit the Carnegie Boys and Girls Club to utilize 7th Avenue Field every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. and every Saturday from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. during the months of September and October for the 2017 Boys and Girls Club Flag Football Program.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Motion to permit the Carleton Soccer Association to use both upper and lower fields, concession stand and restrooms at Carnegie Park on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Sundays from noon to 6 p.m. On Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 6 p.m. until dusk, beginning September 7th through October 31st, 2017 for a community soccer league.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
That's all I have, Madam President.
Public safety, Councilperson Sarsfield.
Thank you, Madam President. This evening, I'm going to ask for a motion to table the existing motion, and I'll explain. We're actually going to amend this and re-advertise to add, in addition to Beechwood, we're going to add a library to it, and because that's a significant change to it, we will need to re-advertise the ordinance.
Just as a point of clarification, Mr. Sarko, you don't have to table it. It's not a matter.
Okay. So just explain why I'm not making the motion. That's why I'm not going to make the motion. We're going to adjust it, re-advertise it, and then once it's advertised, then come back and pass it. I have no other business, Madam President.
Code Enforcement and Community Development, Councilperson Riley.
Well, Well, don't we have to, if we're gonna advertise, we wanna do that, we wanna make that motion today. We wanna make that amended motion today, so that,
If you want to make a motion to re-advertise, yes.
yeah, that's what we talked about. So, I mean, before we move on, we talked about that the amended motion needs to be made today, because we're gonna advertise it. If we're gonna advertise, we need 30 days. If not, we won't be passing this ordinance till the fall.
All right.
So just change,
Motion to
adopt advertising.
Motion to advertise ordinance 2443, an ordinance of the Borough of Carnegie, County of Allegheny County, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, amending Chapter 15, Section 205 of the Borough Code of Ordinances relating to motor vehicles and traffic, Beechwood Avenue and Library Avenue, 2-hour parking.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Again, Councilperson Riley. Sorry.
Thank you, Madam President. 5A, motion to approve the curb cut application submitted by Mr. Michael Wilcox for the property located at 521 Covage Street, pending Allegheny County Side Yard Program approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
5B, motion to adopt resolution number 2017-06, a resolution of the Borough of Carnegie of Allegheny County, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, opposing the elimination of the Community Development Block Grant Program, CDBG.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments?
I would mention that in the federal budget, there's been the discussion about the elimination of CDBG grant programs across the country. These are federal funds that come to every community in America in the form of a block grant. That means a chunk of money that is distributed that we use for all kinds of different things. Every state, every community. And there's been discussion of eliminating them from the federal budget, just doing away with them entirely, which is a huge impact to every community. So we're joining with other communities to pass a resolution just indicating that we are opposed to that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Committee reports, administration,
Nothing this evening, thank you.
finance,
Nothing this evening, thank you, Madam President.
code enforcement and community development,
Nothing this evening, Madam President.
public works.
A couple of items. You will have noticed if you drive Washington Avenue that the ramps, the handicapped ramps on Lee Street have been torn up for a number of weeks now. And they were done improperly and had to be torn back out. And it's taking a very long time, a ridiculously long time, and it's causing a lot of problem for pedestrians who have to walk out into Washington Avenue. It's very dangerous. So we've made our engineers aware that they need to get this solved right away. It's a public safety issue. We have a couple of streets where there is some water ponding, and we're going to do a couple of projects on that. On Charles Street, there's some ponding near Franklin, and we're going to add another storm drain inlet and some additional pipe to connect it to the storm system to eliminate that. Also on Morrow Avenue, near the bottom of the hill toward Bell Avenue, there's some water that's running into a neighbor's property, into a resident's property. And we're going to lower one of the storm inlets and recontour the pavement so it runs better into that, stormwater runs into that inlet a little bit better. And lastly, I would add that A major construction project at Library Park has commenced. You may have seen this work with the trees, some of the trees being taken down, and the parking lot refurbishment will begin. And it's a pretty exciting project, I think, for the town. A major project, and I would guess the first major renovation of that property in its existence. Am I right? I can't imagine that if sometime in the
Well, the only thing is we
past.
had that wonderful 1901 photograph with no trees.
No trees.
But that wasn't renovation, the trees just
Yeah.
hadn't been planted yet. So, and just for the record, we're taking out 14 trees, but we're putting up 22. So, it'll be okay.
So it's a very exciting project, and as far as from our side, on the public works side in the borough, our engineers did review the plans and have confirmed that the stormwater plan for the park is acceptable to us, and so they have certainly a green light from the borough side of the project. So we're looking forward to it. Thank you, Madam President.
Public safety.
Thank you, Madam President. All I have this evening, not directly, it won't take place in the borough of Carnegie, but I just wanted to make people aware that on Saturday, July 15th from 1 to 10, it's actually over in Lawrenceville. They're holding a Sing to Stop Domestic Violence, and that's something that touches every community across America. I would hope that I may work with some people to try and institute us hosting such an event maybe here next year. But it's a great event. It's from 1 to 10. It's at Ned's Hotel, Outdoor Amphitheater, at 5438 Butler Street, Pittsburgh. There's 9 musical acts all coming together, again, to sing to stop domestic violence. So again, it's not happening here, but again, you know, I'll go anywhere to help a cause like that. So if you're not doing anything that day, like I said, it's from 1 to 10, plenty of time to, if you stay 10 minutes to support the cause. That's all I have.
Thank you. And I have no tonight.
Thank you, Council President. Just one item for this month. 2 years ago, we received grant funding from the DEP, and part of that included public outreach. Over the last month, the borough had partnered with the Boys and Girls Club, along with Councilperson Boyd and Mayor Kabistik. Our administrative staff partnered with some of the kids, and they did different projects that could pretty much teach them some of the recycling habits that they should be doing, along with help us do some of the public outreach. So just real brief, it was just a really nice project. It worked out really well. The Boys and Girls Club had a lot of prizes, bicycles to give away to some of the children, and they just had a great time, and hopefully we'll be able to partner with them again on something along these lines. So just wanted to thank everyone here who helped, and just note that, you know, it was a good partnership for that. And that's all I have for this month. Thank you.
Fire department. Ambulance report.
Yeah, I don't have an ambulance call report. I will double up on that next month, but there were 16 fire calls for the month of June.
Well, one more. I had heard that they're going to start the subscription drive this month. Is that true, Steve?
Yes.
Yes. So if anybody's here from the newspaper, you may want to put that out there that Scott Township EMS will be starting their subscription drive for this year, this current month. So, and up until this point, they have honored the old subscription drive that you had with Carnegie Carnegie EMS. And so the new subscription drive will, once that's instituted, that'll be your membership drive. You'll get the membership rate with that.
Mayor's report.
Thank you, Madam President. The numbers for the month of June, the criminal arrests and citations were 30, traffic citations number 97, traffic tickets 346, complaints and self-initiated activity handled by our police department numbered 836. I'm proud to say that after we've had an arrest warrant out for George Seaton for the armed robbery of the BP in February, and I'm proud to say that an arrest has finally been made. He goes to his preliminary hearing is next week. Is that right, Craig? This coming Thursday. Okay. Also want to mention that I know it was in the signal item last week, but be very careful with using ATMs, especially at convenience stores and outside of banking areas, but even at banking areas, but especially outside of banking areas. That's where they attach a lot of skimmers. We had a skimmer that was attached to the ATM down here at the get-go. It was reported by a customer, and our police went down there and removed the skimmer so no information was able to be downloaded. But I was told by our detective that the easiest way to check, it's not foolproof, but the easiest way to check is before you slide your card through is yank on the card receptacle for a little bit. A lot of these are just attached by two-sided tape, so you might be able to detect it that way. I want to give everybody a scam alert. This is a scam that's been happening more frequently. I know of one person in our borough that has had this, but I've asked around, and some other people have had this happen to them too. It's a Facebook friend scam, and what individuals are doing, they're taking over an account, a Facebook account, and when they do that, they send a message to somebody on the friend list, maybe multiple people on the friend list, and they tell them about a government grant that they have received, and that they will help them through it to get this government grant. And all it is, it takes a little bit of cash on their end to get the grant. Unfortunately, some people are falling for this because they don't understand that they realize that it is a friend that they know that is IMing them, it's a message of them. And so some people have fallen for this, but it's a scam that's growing in popularity, and a few times that it has been that people were able to trace it back to its roots. The roots were in Nigeria, so keep an eye out for that. We still have issues, and this will happen, I guess, every year, but still have issues of individuals entering unlocked vehicles. Unlocked vehicles are an easy target for thieves, and especially for drug addicts. So we ask you to lock your vehicles, and even it doesn't matter what area you live in. In fact, we had 3 or 4 unlocked vehicles that were violated up in the Reaver area and Huron area, and these thieves make their way around. So if you think you live in the quiet part of Carnegie, you think again, lock your vehicle. I want to commend our department. We've been really addressing some of the disruptive conducts in the community. We've had 19 disruptive conduct reports issued this year, and it's only half the year done. And I've noticed a pattern that a good percentage of them are in some of our areas where there's a little more trouble. So we've allocated some officers to those areas. But I think these disruptive conduct reports are a good way to correct problem behavior in some of these areas, and they've been effective in the past, so hopefully they will continue to be effective. We talked about parking on Beechwood, the 2-hour parking on Beechwood, the 2-hour parking on Library. I mentioned earlier in the meeting, and I just want to say that parking in our community, whether it be parking in our central downtown area or in the residential area, is an issue. We're an older community. The infrastructure, we've added a lot of rental properties to our community, and the infrastructure just doesn't support all the multiple car homes. And so I think this is something that whether it's our council or whether future councils have to address, it is something that is going to continue to be a problem in our borough. And in some of our residential areas, the parking is very tight, and it's to the point where I mentioned, this is the analogy I gave in the back room, it's like a gum band that's stretched to its maximum capacity right now in some areas, and that gum band, or as Pittsburghers say gum band, should be a rubber band, right? Right, Maggie? New Yorkers call it
New
rubber
Yorker
band.
says rubber band.
But
I don't.
I still say gum band. But the rubber band, it's stretched to maximum capacity, and eventually it's going to break. And in some of our areas, it's going to be something that we have to address as a body. And it's we realize that, and I think at this point we should start looking for to other communities and seeing what options they have utilized to help with their situation. We are teen night is in full swing at the Boys and Girls Club. We've had as high as 38 teens coming. We have a good group of solid teens, kids from 15 to 18-year-olds that come on a weekly basis that play basketball. And we have a younger group of teens that come in and play games. And it's been fairly popular. We provide pizza for them. So I just want to remind people that this is a good way to get kids off the street so they don't hang on the street. The teen night is Wednesday nights from 5 to 8. And anyone in the community, you don't have to be a member of the Boys and Girls Club, anyone in our community or even outside our community is welcome to teen night. So spread the word. And speaking of the Boys and Girls Club, as you know, they're in high gear in the summer. They're very busy this summer, averaging about 158 kids a week for summer camp. But also in the summer is their biggest fundraiser, the comedy fundraiser. And that is happening on August 18th at the Pittsburgh area Airport Marriott. It's $75 a ticket, which includes the entertainment, which is 3 comedians, actually 2 comedians and an MC, who's also a comedian, so it's really 3 comedians. It includes dinner, and the club right now is looking for sponsorships, and if you want to buy a ticket, you could just call the club at 276-3151. And they'll be more than happy to help you with that. Or if you are interested, you can see me and I can get you the information. Coming up at the library, I don't know if there's any Monty Python geeks here like I am. I grew up watching Monty Python. In fact, I remember as a kid sneaking in to see this movie, Monty Python and the Holy Grail. So we went time and time again. But I'm really excited. So Spamalot, which is a spoof on the Monty Python and the Holy Grail movie, is up at the library. Starts July 20th through the 30th, and the first night, the 20th, the library provides a get-together afterwards with some desserts, and it's always a nice night. But if you have any fondness of Monty Python, remember them growing up, this will be a great show. The 15th, the Cup and Portion Free Community Dinner at St. John's. They do that every month. It's open to everybody, and it's not just based on need. You know, the object of this dinner is to bring people from the community together to share a meal, and it's been very successful so far. We'll be starting our Veterans Flag services this month. I have applications for that, and also Comedy Club flyers on the front table if anybody wants to grab either one of those. So if you have a veteran that's deceased that you'd like to honor, grab an application. We'd be more than happy to do a flag service for them. It's a real nice flag service, and you can contact me for more information on that. Summerfest is coming up in August. It's August 10th, 11th, and 12th. So it's always a big weekend. It's right down in front of the church in Irishtown. And also on June 30th, All Saints Police National Catholic Church will have their barbecue chicken dinner. And that's always a very good meal. In fact, it's a great meal. That's be from 3 to 6. July 30th. Just want to give open streets. We'll be having an open streets again this year. The date will be 9/23. So we're looking forward to another open streets. We'll be having our meetings coming up soon. And I do want to thank Sue Demko and her sister Mimi and Arlene and the council people that helped her for the 3rd of July. It was a nice event. Once again, they provided a great service to the community on the fireworks, providing food for sale. It was a good fundraiser to start from the Haunted Trail, and it was a nice evening. The fireworks were very nice, and they did a wonderful job. And one last thing I want to say is I had a chance to read the comprehensive plan, the Kraft and Ingram comprehensive plan, and one of the issues that they want to address is the problem of blight. And the recommendation in their comprehensive plan is to form it's a joint blight enforcement action team to triage problem properties. This is something I've been advocating for our community for probably since I was elected. I think it's a good opportunity to handle blight issues in your community. It's a good way to handle blight issues in your community from a proactive standpoint as opposed to a reactive standpoint. And I still would like to throw that out there that I think a blight action team or whatever we want to call it would be a great idea for this community. It's a great way to be more proactive in that area. And that's it. Thank you, Madam President.
Do we have any general public comment? I can't see everybody.
Currently going to Chestnut Street. I'm a bit behind. I have to work a lot on Mondays. All I would like to say is that I'd like to congratulate all the winners from the recent elections that took place, and I'd like to thank you all for the work that you do for our community.
Thank you.
Came all the way down here in the rain to tell us that. Thank you.
I needed to talk to
It's all great. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Just a reminder, the crawl is again this Friday at Broadway and Main is the new Essential Latino Dance Studio. They will be dancing there for a good bit of the night. Riley's, of course, always has great music. And there's going to be jazz for it at Papa J's, starting a little bit earlier this time, around 8:30 to about 11. And of course, lots going on. Everybody's excited. It looks like, I hope the rain will hold off, but I hope to see a lot of you there. Thank you.
Just a couple of things. I'm Maggie Forbes from the Library Music Hall, and I think you have noticed that Library Park is underway. It's very exciting, and of all the things we've done there, I've never seen the support from the foundation community be as strong as it has been for this project, and let's hope we just go all the way through on that. And thank you, anybody, for bearing with us. So far, we haven't had any real problems associated with the disruption in the parking, and I think some of us are ignoring that 2-hour parking on Lower Beechwood because we're trying to avoid the neighborhood, but we're gone by the evening, so I don't know. Ticket maybe half an hour. And then the other thing, just a slight correction, and I love the fact that it's Stage 62 and the Library Music Hall are one and the same, but it's Stage 62's production of Spamalot, and they will be hosting the reception, the opening night reception afterwards. But we will be hosting, and I invite everybody in the room here, some of you I shouldn't have invited personally, we're doing a pizza and beer thing on opening night. You can get your dessert afterwards. We're doing pizza and beer and wine, but it doesn't sound like as much fun if you say pizza and wine. In the Lincoln Gallery before the show. Because of the disruption of the parking, we're actually, Stage 62, we're doing it for them, but we're actually renting a bus, not the shuttle, but a bus to get the traffic up and down, and it'll be, I'm just thanking God it's not going to be on the night of the crawl. And I think that's going to be our hardest thing with the construction is those 6 nights, probably not on Sunday afternoon, but the 6 nights for Stage 62's Spamalot, that they're being trippers on this, but it should be a ride. It's supposed to be really, really fun. And please join us for pizza and beer. Come on up. Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, Council on Welfare. Mr. Schwarzfield.
Yeah, I just want to comment. seen a few different fireworks, you know, from different communities, and not just because I live here, but I'm telling you, our fireworks are amazing. They're amazing. They simply are. I mean, I've watched other communities, and bar none, ours were top notch. And again, as the mayor already did, Sue, you and your sister and your whole crew, I mean, do a tremendous job up there all day long. And it doesn't go unnoticed or unappreciated. Really appreciate all your efforts, and I think the weather will cooperate for crawl this week. So, Representative Kulik will be opening her office here in Carnegie, which is a real plus. I was really excited to hear that from Anita. Nick had had an office here for several years, and then due to staff and that closed it, but to have the state rep office back here in the borough is a real plus to all of our residents. For those of you that don't know where it's going to be located, it'll be on Elk Avenue at the very beginning where the businesses are there. Candy Grandma used to be there. She's doing great there. So it'll be nice and handy, and you know, if you have any issues or anything, you know, once it's open, the grand opening is Friday, and then her office hours will be posted. So that's all I have.
I just wanted to add, even though the theater folks have gone, I don't know how many people realize the significance of off-the-wall productions here in Carnegie. They are internationally recognized for the number of female-written plays that they perform. More than 50% of their plays are written by women, and that is not typical. And not only do they provide a venue for plays written by women, but also women directors, women choreographers, women actors, women dancers, women composers for the musical scores. It's incredible what they do, and I don't know that even in Pennsylvania, they're probably in Pennsylvania, they probably have the highest percentage of programs written and performed by women. It's an amazing thing. We're very lucky to have them in Carnegie.
Nothing this evening, Madam President.
Nothing, thank you, Madam President.
I just want to reiterate what the mayor and Mike said about July 3rd, and I just want to thank everyone that helped me, because I couldn't have done it without them. There's just some wonderful people that always step up, and you always, I mean, you can't thank them enough, and let them know how much we appreciate it. But I do appreciate everyone that helped me on July 3rd, so I want to thank everybody again. That's all I have. Motion to adjourn.
Motion, second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Meeting adjourned.